they win this game and they just hope Disrupt loses versus Gorillas. If Disrupt want to play OC, that is, well, there you go. You just try to lose.
It's happened.
It's happened. And it's not a knack on either of these teams whatsoever. That is a legitimate strategy going into playoffs on who you would rather play against. Capital will be the first ban from our bad. That is a big ban on a map like Oregon.
Certainly, and especially we talk a lot about the Capital changes that happened somewhat recently. And so obviously maybe he's been nerfed a little bit in the fact that he doesn't kill like as easily with those fire bolts, but still can be very, very effective, especially on this map. Firing down into the basement, it's a really good counter to a lot of different plays that you can try to hold on down there. So that's no longer gonna be an option. Glass also off the board. That makes a fair amount of sense. 92 don't really play Glass that often, so just don't even have it as an option for it. Fair enough. You could talk about maybe saving strats if you're 92, but I think this game matters enough that you actually do want to try and you actually do want to win this one, assuming that you'd rather play against the Sonics than Organized Chaos, which again, I don't think either are easy matchups. Both of those teams are going to be monstrous to face in the first round.
You do not want to play either of those teams.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be one or the other.
Well, yeah, 92 Dream Team have found, I wouldn't say success versus Sonics, but more than they have OC. So I can see an argument there. I mean, they've drawn versus Sonics. They've should have beat them in their very first matchup, but Sonics mounted a terrific comeback.
Yeah.
And so if you're a Dream Team, I think you'd just rather, because you just straight up haven't beat OC, and you've looked like a more complete team for Sonics.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless,
no, that's a very good point.
We're gonna see Oregon. Bonus one. But yeah, again, as a reminder for those who are just tuning in, playoffs are set as far as the teams. We have OC, we have Sonics, we have Disrupt, and now finally, due to the tie from Toon Squad, or due to Sonics at least getting 6 points in the matchup versus Toon Squad, we have 92 Dream Team as the fourth and final playoff team. Again, we want to thank everybody for watching throughout this process from us, because this is mostly Sternab who made a lot of this possible. We wanted to bring Challenger League to you guys. We didn't want it to be, we didn't want to have any offline games for Challenger League because of the implications for Pro League. So the fact that you guys would tune in and support the stream means the world to us, because again, of just the implications for Pro League and for future successes of Challenger League. So thank you for that, and congratulations to the teams that qualified for both Challenger League, which is a big feat in and of itself, but also for the chance to go to Pro League for the 4 teams that qualified for the playoffs.
And to reward you guys, we're going to show off, hopefully, a really good game. We've already seen a little bit of action. There was a bit of a run out from Cali. Playing on the dock, no harm, no foul. In fact, got a little bit of damage down at Tomas as well, so why not? I mean, you do those run outs. Sometimes they can come back and bite you in the butt. This time, though, it didn't happen that way, and so it's going to be a fully healed up team over on the side of our bad. Coming up against 92 Dream Team, who've lost a little bit of HP over on their Zofia, so that's where we're at the moment. 2 minutes still to go in this round, and as I mentioned, this matchup does have playoff seeding implications. It does not determine who's in playoffs, so still plenty to play for 92 Dream Team, and I think they're going to want to win this matchup. And so our bad, similar to last game, is Elevate. Don't really have anything to play for. They're just here to have a good time. Drip's having a good time. He's shooting heads off of Carnage. Entry Fragger, one of the more aggressive players, usually over on the side of our bad. And ooh, what a grenade from Doodle will catch out on Cali. So that's 2 players down on the side of our bad. It looks to me like they're changing up a couple of their roles. Not fully. I mean, you still got guys like Euphoria playing on like the smoke and like Cali playing on the dock. I don't think it's too surprising. But you know, whatever. It's still guys sort of changing around their operators and just sort of having a good time with it, you know?
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me is when we see the second half for 92 Dream Team, because you lost Bombs, who was entirely support. He was smoke on defense, hard breacher, plant, everything. And you bring in Thomas, who is not that type of player. So the adjustment for defense is what I'm most curious about, because I mean, we've seen what 92 Dream Team can do on attack. We're seeing it right now. They are as deadly as they ever have been. But defense specifically, with Doodle on the smoke roll, is something to at least highlight. As far as how bad is concerned, they get 4-0. Well, they lose the round, only killing one member of 92, and it's looking like a pretty dang good round for 92. And if you're ever an attacking team, and I mean ever an attacking team, and you win around, it feels good, just simply because of how defender-sided pretty much all the maps are. But specifically, if you're the defending team, or I'm sorry, if you're the attacking team and you win the very first round, it is the most relieving thing in the world, just simply because you know that that is the defending team's first sight. That is the defending team's number one, and you won. And it feels so, so good. It's such a boon for attacking teams, and I'm sorry, for defending teams. Just from purely a competitive standpoint.
Yeah, statistically, the rounds 1 and 7 are the most favored for the defense because they can go anywhere. You know, there's not going to be any restrictions on that in any situation.
Oh,
yeah.
I see what you
mean. It's mostly favored for the defense to win those rounds because they can go anywhere. And so as an attacking team, you come out, you win that one. That's the best shot that defense are going to throw at you. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to do it next round, but it certainly, sets you up to do that.
Yeah, and we're going to seek the basement yet again. This time, Euphoria taking that smoke. Actually, Euphoria's on smoke roll before. Sorry, I am blind and deaf. A little bit of a switch up, though. Bigger emphasis on the roam game, it would seem, as a lot of our bad has adjusted seemingly to this north side watchtower push coming out from 92 Dream Team.
Oops.
I am just not going to comment on that one.
That's going to keep Tuffy alive up top for a little bit longer at the very least. His utility is safe and sound up there playing with the ADSs. However, it's not safe for too long because Drip is able to hit those shots. And man, Drip has been so much better these past 2 weeks in Challenge League than he was at the start. I don't think he was a bad player at the start by any sense of the imagination, but I think he was not a star player on this roster, and now he's starting to look like one. So, big credit to Drip. As bad as his Twitter game might be, he's actually turned into a really good player. And you'll see him now. Doodle's coming out on top of things, helping out his boy Drip as they find the kill into Cali.
That was good.
I've been trying to insult his Twitter game for a long time. My man needs help.
Well, yeah, besides definitely needing help, I don't think it's that bad.
It's
I like
bad.
the self-deprecation. It's pretty funny, at least to me. And the world's worst fight will end in Drip coming out ahead. And this is looking very, very good for 92 Dream Team. And it would seem they're bringing the Thunder in this match, which just lets me know that their preference would certainly be Sonics.
Yeah, it certainly seems so. And I think that is probably the right call because, as you mentioned, you played better versus those guys. We saw Beastly and Hyena both trade out a 1-for-1, both bullets firmly planted in each other's skull, and that leads all into Euphoria. If he wants to pull it back for his team, he will do no such thing. Drip, the man of the hour, will claim that kill. And 92 Dream Team up 2-0, and that's 2 attacking wins in a row for the guys over on 92 Dream Team. And as we sort of mentioned, are bad about all the opportunity to go wherever they want. They've lost Laundry twice now. Maybe you want to go to Kids. Yes, just as I was mentioning, they are going to select that bomb site, and we'll see if they lock it in. Probably, I'm going to guess they will.
Yeah, it's basically third time is never the charm in any Siege matchup that I've seen, where I don't even recall the last team I saw play a site 3 times in a row that they failed on. And that, I mean, largely that's because typically you'll win a defensive site, and then if you play 2 sites in a row for the next one and you lose both of those, you'll just go back to the one you won. It's so very rare that we see a team lose their first site twice in a row. And again, this is an ode to 92 with how well they've come out of the gates here. And I'm nothing but impressed right now. But even in general, going back to my original point, so very rarely, if there is an opportunity, will you see teams select a bomb site 3 times in a row?
Yeah.
I would say it is probably less than probably around 1% of the time you'll see that.
It might be higher than that, but I would argue that it's like pretty much always, if not always, a mistake. Just because, like,
you could argue, if not always, is 99%.
Fair point. Yeah, no, because like if you lose it the third time, you just screwed yourself. And then, like, let's say your secondary bomb site is actually really good, right? If you play it in the 4th round, well, you can't play it again, right? Site rotation, you just can't go back to it. Whereas if you try it the 3rd round and it works, then you can do it another time. You can play it in round number 6. You haven't screwed yourself in that same situation. So, I mean, it's these little things, right? If you're a newer player, I mean, this might not be stuff you're thinking about, but site rotation math, it's very important, and you gotta know it because it can really make or break games in some situations.
And this is 92 are looking very, very ferocious throughout this, and
They
clearly the strategy going into Oregon pretty much whenever, and we've seen this before from them, attack Watchtower heavy. Get control of tier 3, doesn't matter where you're going, but Watchtower is very clearly a focus for 92 and has been throughout CL, so I'm not surprised he's here. Beasley is dispatched by Thomas, so 2 former Pro League players going back at each other, and Thomas, the one at least with the most recent experience, will come out ahead, and one hell of a run out will not result in a kill for Cali. Hyena, terrific coverage for his teammate. Doodle on the rappel. And a 4v3 advantage, at least at the moment, for 92. I keep wanting to call him VG, but 92.
Oh, it's okay. We're actually going to tie out the numbers, though, because Tuffy running around won't be able to get any more, though. Rexon is very smartly watching for that angle, and he will shut that down. Doodle through the window finds Carnage as well right after he kills his teammate in Hyena. Leaves it all onto the last player of Euphoria, who, okay, with the shotgun on Legion. I like what I'm seeing here. It's going to befell Rexon and leave it all onto Doodle with very little HP. The shotgun could be quite useful in the situation where there's not a lot of HP. And, ooh, with that goo mine as well, I don't think that'll be enough to kill Doodle, because he still looks like he's got about 20 HP, but that's still going to hurt him quite a bit, and just make those shotgun plays all the more likely. No frag grenades for Doodle, but a full minute to try to work with and diffuser in hand.
Yeah, and he's just looking for any sort of angle on Euphoria. Euphoria has played the rest of this round very, very well, and going back to the last time we saw 92 play on Coastline versus Disrupt, we talked about perhaps that lack of information for his team and where it's coming from. Right there, we saw Rexon again look at White, and no, he was in kids the entire time. So 92, not that they have work to do there, but it's interesting to say the least, because it's been a bit of an issue through most of their matchups as of late.
Yeah, I mean, I think their weaker point has always been the fact that they're maybe a little bit less coordinated, a little bit less strat heavy. The strat have certainly been worked on, and I think since getting a coach is a lot better. Hold up, they're going to get into an engagement here in Euphoria with the shotgun, just as I was mentioning, can really put some people on low HP to bed. So great shotgun Legion play to come out of him. But as I was saying, for 92 Dream Team, I think their strats department have improved quite a bit since like bringing on their coach and really working with him. Especially, I think also Tomas has helped them out quite a bit there. But
Thomas,
I think, like,
Jinx, Virus, all of
oh
them.
yeah, like everybody in their
for
support
92.
staff has been so good for them in boosting that up. And now maybe what they got to work on for playoffs is that coordination and making sure that they're all working together as a solid unit. And certainly I think bringing in Thomas is not going to be the biggest help to that. Bringing in a new player never really is. But I think that it's still overall a good trade because Tomas is such an experienced and good player. You talk about, like, I don't think Bombs was playing poorly. I think cutting him from the roster was maybe a little bit controversial. But what Tomas brings is something that you're really lacking. Because before him, none of these players, not only had none of the players on 92 Dream Team played in Pro League before, none of them had ever even played Challenger League. So this was a team full of rookies, the least experienced roster out of the whole league, other than Souls Gorillas, who they're tied with. But now with Tomas on the roster, that's bringing in a portion of the team that was severely lacking before they had him on board in terms of that experience.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can bring a Pro League level player into your team, it's gonna be a good time. I mean, look at our bad. The difference between the beginning of this season, or not even beginning, the first half of the season, and to when they acquired Beasley. Oh dear God, were they a team that you just pretty much didn't want to face anymore because they looked coordinated. They looked like they found what they were missing. And yeah, I mean, it goes to show you just how important it is to have just a ton of players who know what they're doing. Speaking of players who know what they're doing, Thomas completely calls out Cali's BS with a pick of his own. A well-placed shot will fall the vigil, and you're already looking at a tough road up. Tuffy will be under siege from the pretty much every member of I almost said VG again, of 92 Dream Team, as they always look to take this tier 3 control.
Last time they did a really good job of it. They managed to clear it out really quickly, despite the questionable screw top plays coming up from the Thatcher, but it doesn't really matter about that. They're still going to be able to work at it once again. This time it'll be the frag grenade, and no, not quite going to hit it this time. They're still going to be running around, and they're still going to be trying to make it forward. Still trying to get those guys playing on the rooftops. You can see they've got a lot of pings. The information, probably from a Valkyrie cam, is going to be able to help whoever might still be playing up there. Tuffy. But Doodle is up here, and they're in that engagement. Looks like he will win it, despite having all of the chaos thrown in his direction. That's E3 control. Messy as it was, you've got it now.
And typically, it kind of surprises me is that they're very determined to hold tier 3, but they don't bring a deployable shield with them, which is a fairly common strategy when players or teams are trying to hold tier 3 with their lives on the line. That was still a good delay from Tuffy, but losing Cali so early, now you're looking at a pretty disadvantageous moment right now. And a 5v3 for a team that is pretty much riding the hot hand at the moment. It's gonna be tough.
Was it also not Cali who on this map had something like 2 aces? Were you casting that match? I could be, yeah, that was a crazy game, wasn't it, for him?
Yeah, and that, again, it's just not, losing anyone that early to nothing is not ideal in
nice
any
shot,
circumstance of life, whatever. Drip continues his reign of terror on Thatcher with the displacement of Beastly, and it'll be him going down with the Pokeball. A 3v2 advantage still, though, in favor of VG. Speaking of, Carnage bringing it within more than reason for his team. However, a 1v2 and you're shooting a pea shooter versus the F2 and the M742. It's going to be tough. However, a ton of information is being fed to Carnage currently, but he will not land those shots onto Thomas. Thomas, good coverage for the planter and a good call to back off that position. So Carnage called inside a meeting hall and you saw them pick up shop and push in the laundry.
Something interesting to look at between this matchup and the last. In both, it was sort of one team who was already in playoffs and didn't have a lot to play for versus one team who was totally out and had nothing to play for, right? There's a small difference in that OC last match had literally nothing to play for. Right now, Vicious, or 92 do have something to play for.
Welcome to my world.
Oh, I know. But an interesting comparison is that when Elevate were sort of playing a bit silly, they were kind of throwing, OC were having still a ton of trouble locking that down and punishing those really aggressive and poorly thought out plays. Whereas 92 Dream Team against Arbad are pulling similar strategies where they're doing a lot of spawn peaks, doing a lot of runouts, a lot of just things that you probably wouldn't do if you were still trying to get a playoff spot. 92 Dream Team are shutting this down really, really well. You see Tomas watching these angles every single time. You see Rex and even Drip. They're watching for these angles and they're like not letting the other guys get the better of them. So maybe reading into that a little bit too hard, but I think it's still 92 Dream Team that does maybe speak good things about them and their potential moving into Challenger League finals and the playoffs still to come.
With the teams already being determined for finals, I can say that this is going to be one of the most exciting, finals, for playoffs, one of the most exciting playoffs we have seen. This is, I wouldn't say it's the top 4 teams that people expected, but for the most part, Disrupt, Sonics, and 92 were all expected to advance, where OC and Elevate kind of being the team, OC, Elevate, and Toon Squad being the teams that people were talking about as potentials. But yeah, just in general, it's, I am just so excited for the potential we have going into it, just because the rosters are so loaded is the best way to put it.
No,
this
honestly,
is one of the most tight. You could pretty much tip your hat and say, yeah, any single one of these players deserves a spot.
no, I agree 100%. I think this is actually a great argument for maybe expanding Pro League a little bit, because there is talks on that. Nothing official, obviously, but like some people are calling for it.
Confirmed.
Yeah, okay. Some people are calling for it, and I think that the amount of skill we've seen in Challenger League, I don't think there's a single team in playoffs that you could say doesn't deserve to be there. They're all so good, and I think all of them could put up a good fight against the best that North America has to offer. So unfortunately, it can't be all of them. It'll be only one or two, depending on how the relegation match versus Rise Nation goes. But still, I mean, I think that all four of these teams have a great shot. Here's a good shot coming out. Doodle takes down Tuffy, who was about to face 3 players with a shotgun. Fortunately, he didn't really see anybody before he finally got blown up himself, and that's good from Doodle to be able to dispatch that quickly. Euphoria, however, also a shotgun in hand. There's only one man on the side of him, but it will be Rexton who's able to get it. Drip goes for 3 rounds in a row. I don't know what he's on about for that one, but basically the last man standing. 4 players will drop in through hatches, and all of them will converge onto the one remaining player. Doodle with the pistol ends out the round.
It's very weird when you're spectating a team with nothing left to lose.
Yeah.
It's very odd to be watching a team who doesn't care and just kind of is just going for it. We see so many Legion shoddy, Jaeger shotties, and them just rushing. It's just whoa, you don't want to do that one.
He'll probably 6-pick off of it.
Oh, it's definitely gonna 6-pick off it, but you can still get. Yeah, it's still a mark. I mean, you can't lock it in. You can't even 6-pick off it. It's totally off limits. But I'm sure 92 are willing to shrug that off. Anyway, it's just a very weird experience because seeing the shotties and them rushing with shotties and positioning themselves in silly ways, it's just, I don't know. I have no idea what to think of it.
It's a good time. You know, why not?
That's definitely a way to put it.
And especially, I mean, like, you can tell 92 Dream Team, they are, like, not giving in. They
want
okay,
Sonics.
Yeah, 100%
they want
Sonics.
Because if they didn't want Sonics, they don't care. They would be throwing this.
Yeah.
This is they're treating this map just as if they were treating this map as if this was the elimination game.
Yeah.
They clearly, you could see it. Let the actions speak for themselves here. So, really, we talked about it. It's not that big of a surprise with, as we mentioned before, the success that they've had versus Sonics over OC. Because they haven't had what you would call success for Sonics, but over Organized Chaos, that's been a different story. 0-1-1 versus Sonics versus 0-2.
Yeah.
0-2. Yeah, so it's a different story when we're concerning OC, so it makes sense.
And even their loss to Sonics, like, they looked really good. They just
they were up like, what was it, 5-2 or something, and it
was crazy.
And then it was like a 7-5 comeback. It was it was definitely something. And clearly our bad are just I'll get it.
Yeah,
they're just
out here. Hey, Tuffy's gonna get another kill. He's been actually very, or no, sorry, that's been Euphoria who's been really good. I think that's Tuffy's 2nd kill of the game, so maybe he hasn't been super performing, but he'll get his 3rd as Hyena on the rappel will get his body shot, and then he will have to fall down to the ground. Makes it a 3-on-3, 2 minutes to go. That's not too bad of a scoreline for either team. Oh, and Tuffy, here he comes. He's gonna come out here and get another kill, a headshot onto Doodle, so this has really been his round. There's a lot of talk usually about this operator. Euphoria with the shotgun finds Rexton as well. Use it all onto Drip. There's been a lot of talk with the alibi and whether that's an effective choice. Euphoria here breaking down the door, or breaking down the wall with the shotgun, and then pistol comes out, and Drip has no chance in that battle. Holy Euphoria. As doesn't even need to aim down sights. Just spam left click, pistol in your hand. Why not? Silly stuff.
92 are on defense, and I got to imagine this is just going to be a let's pack it up and go home type of half from 92. But again, who the heck knows with how everything has gone so far. The Fuse Finka legendary combo being brought out. I wonder if that's Fuse Shield, just simply because we have a Finka It's a shame. It's a shame that Fuse hasn't seen more play.
He's
'Cause
not
he
bad
has-
on this site.
He
Or,
is
sorry, on tower.
He is such good gun. His guns are so good.
Yeah.
That AK, his LMG is ridiculously good. He has the PMM. He is loaded, but one speed has really been his downfall. Really. Well, granted, I mean, one speed and the whole fact that his kit kind of sucks, but at least
Oh,
for
it's
his
garbage,
competitive
yeah.
combine. Well, the gadget is fine for ranked normal play, but for competitive, it's just so difficult to get an effective use out of those cluster charges, and it's just don't see it happening.
Who was it though? Who pulled it out on tower? It was Challenge League this season. They pulled out attacking tower, and it worked. I don't think they actually got any kills with the fuse, like with the cluster charge, but I think the fuse got like a 2K.
It didn't work.
Well, the fuse got like 2 kills though, and they won the round. I think it was like round number 6. It was like Sills Girls versus Arbad or something, or not round 6. It was like round 12, and like they had to either tie or win it there, and they brought out the fuse. Man, I wish I could remember my history in Challenge League, but
shame on you
pulled out.
not remembering things.
Vicious
alright,
Gamer
buddy.
doing well here.
That's why you're paired with me, because I have the memory of a goldfish, and it works out well. Callie will be the first one to open things up, so Finka already doing work, and Hyena will be off the board, and that's one heck of a pick to find. They are just straight up peeking these kids' windows, and I gotta say it's working out pretty well for them.
Yeah, and look at this. Drip taking a lot of damage as well. He's not watching for it. Callie picks up a second kill. It's a 3-on-5, and this is the best Finka play I think I've ever seen. They've released those stats, right? For ranked and like Ubisoft do at the end of each like season or whatever. And Finka's got
like
a crazy high. I know.
You can
But Finka's got crazy high win
ignore
rate,
that.
doesn't she? Doesn't she though? You pull her out when you're losing.
I don't think
and,
she has any kind of crazy. I know Frost has the highest win rate.
Yeah, I think Finka's up there too. Callie, 3 kills. He's popping off. This is his day.
Get the ace.
Oh, he still could do it. Carnage,
one
you don't need
more.
to be here. Carnage, just die. Doesn't matter.
Wait, how's he have one? Wait, what? No, you can't count things. That is
What? He's got 3 kills right now. Oh, he'll die though. That's unfortunate. Tomas will come out.
whatever.
I believe so. Either way, he can't get the ace. It's not possible because he's in the grave. Braxton's
No,
got
let's
pistols
have this
on Carnage.
conversation. Shotgun on Euphoria. I respect.
Wow, that's definitely a shotgun on Twitch. 92 Dream Team take the round. Look at that. Unlucky.
Is that the word for this?
Yes.
Is that the word for what we're watching right now?
Yes.
Unlucky.
Yes.
Shotgun.
Arbad have been playing out of their mind good, but just due to bad luck, they're down 5-2 right now. I mean, you can't blame them for those 5 rounds. Okay, they should have gone their way. Just shotgun pellets didn't go their direction.
All right, this is going to be a very serious question for you.
Okay, yeah.
100% serious. I want you. Was that sarcasm?
No, I think definitely the 5
You
rounds.
think our bad have played this map well at all?
Yes, this has probably been their best performance that we've seen from them. Arbad, the masters of strategy, always
Are
innovating
you a
the
master
game.
at sarcasm? Are you like a Stephen Colbert role right now, or am I
Oh, I
getting
can't
trolled? Am
anymore.
I getting debated?
Don't worry about it, man, pal.
Are you serious?
Round number 8 is coming live. And we're about to go into it. 5-2 is your current score line. And of course, with just one more round, 92 Dream Team will be able to take the tie. And so that would put them not in the position they need to be. They do need to win 100% if they want to vault up into that 3rd spot. And then, of course, you think back to Disrupt Gaming. They do play in the 4th matchup of the A Stream versus those Gorillas. That match is also going to be quite crucial because if they can win that, then it doesn't really matter what happens in this game. The 92 Dream Team will still be the 4th seed.
Well, there you go. I'm still a little bit shook from you. I don't know if you were being serious. I really don't know. You were doing pretty well on the sarcasm there.
Don't
Gotta
worry
admit.
about it.
Anyway,
Oh.
this is more or less 92. First of all, is a good comeback regardless. Even if teams are trolling, even if there's a light atmosphere to the play, there is still this innate competitiveness that all of these players have. The level of which what the heck was that? The level of which changes based on the person, but still, there is very much a I want to beat you level. And even if you are carrying a shotgun as Twitch, you still want to kill the final two guys, whether it be funny or just for pride's sake. And you can never really quite shake that off of some of these players. So it still will be somewhat competitive no matter what. And with the minute gone, we are seeing a lot of damage done to 92, but not as much as you're hoping for. And Hyena on Doc has the potential to completely lift this round back into 92 Dream Team's favor. Thomas, also, I mean, a gun also does a fair amount of work. We'll dispatch Callie in a 5v3 with Drip just now picked up, but Drip put down. Carnage walks in and picks up the duo. And it'll be Doodle with the excellent positioning to fell Carnage on the refrag. Hyena will not be felled by the weak gun of Euphoria, and it'll be all up to Beasley, but no, Rexon with the shotgun. We'll take him out, and this is match point for 92. Yep.
Hey, man.
This is happening.
You know what? You want to talk a little bit about good players?
I really don't.
Carnage has been pretty decent this season. He's been playing entry for them.
Carnage has played great this season.
Yeah, yes. He's been like one of their better players.
Specifically on IQ. And
yeah,
for any team ever in any competitive league, if you, and this goes to any esport, this goes to League of Legends, CSGO, doesn't matter. If you are good with a certain champion, operator, or gun that is meta, that should see a lot of play, that works with your team, that works with virtually any team comp, you are such a helpful factor to your team in any realm of possibility. So an IQ main, a Thatcher main, you would want way more than someone who is excellent with Frost or superb with Fuse. You just always want the you always want the people who spam meta operators the most. And Carnage, to your point, has played so well this season. Carnage specifically on the IQ. Such a good operator to be good on, and such a good person on that specific operator.
I also want to talk about Euphoria because he's been really good on this team. If we're just going to like compliment players on our
let's just talk. Chill. How was your weekend?
Oh, you know what? It wasn't not too bad of a weekend. I mean, we're kind of just starting the weekend.
I don't care.
Right?
Talk about Euphoria.
Okay, so Euphoria, I think, is actually a pretty good player. I think I was sort of maybe discounting him a little bit, and they kind of called me out on that. So, you know, I want to say good things about Euphoria here too, because he has had a pretty darn good season. His stats are not too shabby, especially look at their performance that these guys as a whole have had. So I think he does a lot to be proud of too as well. But you talk about this team, like they're more of like a team-focused team. Does that make sense? Like they're not the individualist team who just like have individual people like pop off like a team like 92 Dream Team might be, where sort of people can kind of go off their off, or at least how 92 Dream Team were, right? Where people sort of play by themselves, but they get loads of kills, so it all works out in the end. I think Arbat are a team who their biggest strength has been team coordination from the very beginning. And you see there, Callie's playing by himself. You're not going to get 3K this time, you're just going to die. And so more often than not, I think Arbat's biggest strength has been how they work together as a squad. So I would actually really like to see this team continue to grind together and try for Challenger League next season, because sometimes you die direction like that, but for the most part, their coordination has been good.
So, to your credit,
yeah,
yes, they are. They operate as a team.
Yeah,
but in Siege is not the ultimate team game. Siege, you can have one person absolutely pop off in a round and you can win that round. It's not like, let's say a Dota or a League of Legends or like even CSGO, where you need some semblance of coordination to, actually no, CSGO is a really bad example because that's like Siege, but regardless, you can have one person pop off, and that is where you need players with individual skill to really kind of succeed. And that's maybe where we saw that replacement from Bombs to Thomas. Even if they don't play the same roles, even if there's growing pains within those roles, you can pretty much safely say that Thomas is a better player overall than Bombs. And again, not a discredit to Bombs whatsoever. Bombs is incredibly talented, but Thomas individually has seen more success and it's more proven. And again, that could explain a lot of that roster move.
Yeah, I mean, I expect to see Bombs on teams in the future. Like, do not sleep on this player because he's been nuts. But when an opportunity to pick up
Bombs
Tomas
is
comes
gonna
up,
find a team.
yeah, I mean, you don't give that up. Beastly's going to get the plant down, and then he's going to go ahead and get a headshot on the Hyena, and suddenly Doodle is in a 1-on-2. There's not a lot of health left on Tuffy, and so he easily dispatches that player, but Beastly is a different story, but it doesn't matter, because you hit those headshots. You hit the headshots, and the game ends. That's how this match works. Doodle returns to form, and he'll get that last kill he needs. Very well played. 92 Dreams who shut down. Bit of a meme-heavy Arbad. Really well played by those guys.
Well, there you go. For the time being, 92 Dream Team are in the 3rd spot for Challenger League playoffs, and they will play Sonics. However, if Disrupt manage to beat Silla's Gorillas, we're right back where we started, at least going into this game, with OC and Sonics being 1 and 2. That will never change. OC being 1, Sonics being 2. Disrupt, 92 are currently 3rd, with the game going over currently right now on Rainbow6_UK, twitch.tv/Rainbow6_UK. We have Disrupt versus Gorillas, and that game over there determines how the 3rd and 4th seed look.
Yep.
Because if Disrupt manage to win that, they will be 3rd seed. If they lose, they will be 4th. And if they tie it, I believe 92 hold. So Disrupt need to win to have the 3rd seed.
No, because Disrupt hold the tiebreaker.
Disrupt hold the tiebreaker? I thought 92
Yes.
beat them.
I'm looking at it right now. Week 3, Disrupt 7-2 over Vicious.
What was their next? Oh, and then they tied.
Then it was a tie
Yeah,
today.
so
Yeah.
okay, so Disrupt hold it.
Mm-hmm,
So they can tie or win. Regardless, they can't lose if they want that 3rd seed. As
and they're
far
playing
as
Souls Gorillas.
Okay. I'm not going to comment on that. But still, Stills Gorillas have not had the season I imagine they hoped for. They were, I believe, the
could be
last team to
crazy.
qualify for the Challenger League.
No, Arbad were. They were second last. Souls
Arbad were the last.
Mhm.
Okay. Still, though, they have not shown up the way that they hoped they would. And yeah, tough roads. But again, we're not talking about them. We don't have to worry about that. Again, OC, Sonics, Disrupt, 92 are your playoff teams at the moment with Disrupt versus Silla's. If Disrupt tie or win it, they will have 3rd seed. If they lose, 92 will have that 3rd seed. So for the time being, we're looking at Organized Chaos versus Disrupt and Sonics versus 92. But again, with Disrupt playing Silla's Gorillas, not to be rude, but you could pretty much look at it like OC 1, Sonics 2, Disrupt 3, and 92 4. I want to take a quick moment to talk about 92 because 92 had that stumble in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
It really was not floating the way a lot of people would expect, and now they've qualified for playoffs, and it's due to a lot of work behind the scenes that mostly everyone hasn't seen. I mean, they wanted this as badly as anyone, and they went out and got it. They got the coaching they needed. They were receptive. It worked out well. And I believe we are ready for an interview with the Wild Doodle of 92 Dream Team. How you doing? And first of all, from us, congratulations, dude. Qualified for Challenger League playoffs.
Yeah, it definitely feels good. All of our first seasons in CL besides Thomas, of course. So it was a big win for us today.
I couldn't even imagine how ecstatic you must have felt when you heard the news that Sonics got that 6th round. Can you talk about going into the final game? Obviously, you're preparing. This is everything. We got to win this. But when you got that news, what did it feel like? Because you guys have been through a lot of struggles that we did not predict. What was the atmosphere like?
I mean, we were focused on our game because we weren't trying to bank too heavy on them winning or them losing. We knew that we had one game left and we controlled our own destiny at that point. So all we got to do is win the game. So we're really focused and we're ready to play. And then right when we heard the news, it was like 100% relief. and then we all just started because our DG game we were very stressed out at the beginning, and then as we brought it back, we were relaxing more. So I'm glad we didn't have to go through that again. But yeah, we just basically chilled out and had fun.
So we've talked throughout the season about any roster moves that come up, whether it's Beastly entering to our bad, or for your sake, you've had more roster moves than most teams. Can you talk about what Thomas specifically has done for your squad? Because I know before he's added, he helped you guys a lot behind the scenes. Now that you're playing with him, what does it mean for you guys to have a player like that with
So
experience?
Yeah, he definitely brings a lot of experience and he brings a lot of passion too, and he keeps us all in line. Like to say, if something starts going bad in scrims and I don't know what to say, then Thomas comes in and helps us out. He's just and he helps us mentally a lot too because we do clash a lot on this team, and he comes in and just like he steps his foot down and makes us all chill out. So I think he was like the best addition we could have made to our team, and he's helped us in so many aspects.
So Thomas has not assumed the role of Bombs, where Bombs was pretty much entirely support, and we saw you playing Smoke quite a lot. And you were you've been having one heck of a Challenger League season, period. And you found a lot of success fragging out. Now that you've taken basically a step back on defense, are you still trying to figure out your roles? Or are you pretty comfortable as long as the team is winning that you just do not care? Caution the wind for that.
So yeah, I'd say I'm pretty flexible. I don't mind what operator I play, but I definitely prefer the roam because I feel like that's my best. I've shined the brightest there. So today I did play a little bit of smoke, but only because Thomas doesn't like it on that certain map, and so I just took it from him and let him go on the roam. But I mean, I played bad on that operator today. At least I was like in the DZ game, I was all attack. I was nothing on defense. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future with that, but I would say I'm definitely a roamer versus a smoke player.
Right. Well, again, Doodle, we're going to let you celebrate with team. We cannot congratulate you enough. Challenger League playoffs. Your team is qualified. You're set to go. I'm sure you're keeping a close eye on the game over at Rainbow Six _UK Disrupt for Scylla's Gorillas. Enjoy your time with your team. Good luck next week. We'll see you. We'll be keeping a close eye.
Thank you.
Take care, man. All right, everyone. I do believe that concludes our time here. Again, that was we're done. That's
Challenger the season.
League. Yeah, that's the season. Challenger League Season 9. Well, Challenger League Season 9. Oh my God, I was throwing
regular season.
Crater.
It's gone.
Regular season, yeah. Regular season, Challenger League Season 9. This is the first time we have brought the complete Challenger League season to you. So we appreciate everyone sticking with us through growing pains. Definitely a huge shout out to Keg doing the observing virtually every single week. Crater, who's been our producer, again, virtually every single week. And of course, Jesse, who is pretty much Stokes at this point, because Stokes has flown all the way to Poland and has disappeared from sight. So despite us being on his channel, this is, or I think he's to my left, is actually this is actually Jesse. This is Stokes.
Ask me, just
again,
call him Stokes.
I am Jared Manpants Live Robinson, not actually Stokes, but Jesse Corn Pop. Again, thank you for hanging with us through regular season. As a reminder, it's OC number 1, Sonics number 2, 92 at the moment number 3, and Disrupt number 4. The other game, which we are about to send you to, is happening right now, which determines the 3rd or 4th seed for playoffs, which are next week. So stay tuned, or just hang around as we throw the host over. Again, thank you everyone for sticking with us. We'll be bringing this production to you again next Challenger League season.